Hello, welcome to Explain. In my previous video, I gave you an indication of what not to do when interpreting dreams. And so I thought it's important to follow that up with a video trying to give you an indication of what to do. Now, off the bat, I have to explain that interpreting dreams is a tough process. At the end of my previous video, I said if it's easy, you're doing it wrong. And you've got to understand that the science is also ever evolving, with the latest scientists saying that there is a possibility that dreams have no meaning at all, and that it really is a mechanism of the subconscious to try and process emotions. So the theory, and it's not proven or not the accepted theory, but simply saying that we have emotions that are unprocessed, and now the subconscious creates a storyline that matches the emotions in order for it to process it. That said, I still believe that there is meaning in dreams, and it is the subconscious that's trying to communicate, because we know there are all sorts of underlying issues in the subconscious that we're not always aware of. And in that sense, I support Freud and then later Jung that had similar interpretations. And Freud used a method which he called free association, which really just means rather than the analyst telling the client what the dream means, it's the other way around. The patient, the dreamer, gets to tell the analyst elements of the dream, and in so doing, starts to interpret and understand its own dream. And so for this video, I'm trying to give you an indication. If you really want to get into interpreting a dream, here's a step-by-step process. First off, make sure that you write down the dream. If you wake up, particularly if you wake up at night, it normally means that it's a significant dream. Write it down as quickly as you can, make a video, do everything that you can to remember as much detail as possible. Then, when you have an hour or so, take a notebook and write down the individual symbols that you picked up in the dream. So you may have been dreaming about a sheep in a green pasture, and there may have been a shepherd. And so write down each one of those elements, even if the shepherd had a stick with him. Once you've written down each of the elements, step 2 would be to brainstorm each of those elements. So take a fresh page and write down sheep, and then brainstorm with yourself, what does sheep mean to you? And you might come up with answers like cloud, food, friendliness, stupidity. Whatever sheep represents for you, you'll brainstorm for yourself, and you'll come up with 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 meanings. Do that for every symbol. Step 3 would be to go back to those brainstormed symbols and then to just ponder over them. And here's where you'll have to start trusting your subconscious, who's trying to push a message to the consciousness. One of those interpretations will start to resonate with you. You may have written down 8 or 9 or 10, but one of them will start to feel like this, in this context, is really the meaning of that symbol. Simply circle that interpretation. Now do that for all the various symbols. And then step 4 would be to take those various interpretations that you've circled and just put them together on one page. And most often, together, they already start to make sense. Because remember, your subconscious is trying to communicate something here. And so you will start to be able to weave a narrative with those various symbols. And it doesn't always happen immediately, guys. That's why I'm saying it's hard work. It takes time. But you might be lucky the first time around that something in your gut just turns and you say, hang on, this feels to me like this is what these symbols said. Stick with it. Mull over it. Come back to it a day later. See if the meaning still feels like that. Intuitively, you and you only will know which meaning has strong insights for you and which is the right interpretation for you. So like I said in my first video, be careful of all the snake oil type interpretations, interpreting a dream is hard work. And if you go through this process, you are most likely going to come to an answer. Well, most of us just let a dream go past because we dream a lot and we don't have the time to analyze every dream. But every now and again, you wake up from a dream and there's just a sense that there's something strong here. And maybe that's when you want to do it. And again, if you've been wondering about a dream and you maybe Googled how to interpret a dream and you came across this video, perhaps now is the time to put in the work to try and understand your dream. So I hope that brings you a bit more clarity and that it helps you to get an interpretation of your dream. I'm Louis van Niekerk and thank you for watching. If you enjoy this channel, why don't you give us a like, subscribe to the channel, maybe share it with 2 people. In so doing, you're telling YouTube what you like, and YouTube will give you more of what you like, and at the same time, you support our channel. Until next time, I'm Louis van Niekerk, and this is Explained.